Hey everyone. You know, Hurricane Helene was rough, just devastating. But today, we're going to look at something you might not have heard about yet.
Okay.
The huge role veterans are playing in the relief effort.
Yeah.
It's wild. 96 confirmed dead,
Wow.
dozens still missing, and entire mountain communities, gone.
Just gone.
And yet you have these veterans running toward the disaster, not away from it.
That's right.
So why? Why are they like this?
Well,
That's our deep dive today.
it really is remarkable, isn't it? You see most folks, understandably, fleeing.
Right.
And then you see these veterans, it's almost like an instinct. They just step up
Yeah.
and they don't just bring good intentions. They bring this really unique skill set
Like,
honed through their military service. And it's proving to be so valuable.
so break it down for us. What exactly are we talking about? What makes veterans so uniquely suited for this kind of work?
Well, think about it. Military training, especially combat roles.
Yeah.
It's essentially a masterclass in operating under crazy pressure.
I can imagine they get.
Constantly shifting situations, limited resources, life or death decisions.
Right.
It's chaos, but they're trained to not only survive, but to thrive in it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're seeing right now in North Carolina.
So it's not just about bravery, right? It's about having the actual skills to be effective in a disaster zone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take logistics, for example. In the military, you're always moving people and supplies, often in really difficult environments.
Right.
And that experience translates so well to coordinating aid distribution, setting up shelters, all that stuff.
Getting those resources where they need to be.
Yeah, crucial in the aftermath of something like Helene.
And there are some powerful quotes from the article that back that up.
For sure.
There's one from Mark Elkhill, Army vet, working with the Christian Rangers.
Okay.
He says, "This is what we do when we go to war. Only difference is we're not getting shot at here."
Right.
Chilling how matter-of-fact it is.
It really speaks to that level of commitment they have, you know? Not for glory or recognition, just this deep sense of duty, service. It's just who they are. You can feel it.
And the article brings this to life with some vivid examples.
Oh, yeah.
Dustin Alger, former Army engineer, he's out there surveying damaged roads,
Okay.
figuring out which ones need immediate attention.
Wow.
This isn't just moving debris, it's using expertise to prioritize, make decisions that could impact everything.
Absolutely. And then there's Joe Cantasano using his little boat to take cadaver dogs downriver.
Oh.
Grim work, searching for bodies, but so important for families to have closure.
And Cantasano's experience in the Navy, operating under pressure.
Right.
It has to be helping him navigate those waters, keep those dogs safe.
Absolutely.
It's not just individual skills, though, is it?
Sure.
It's the way veterans are wired for teamwork.
You got it.
Used to relying on each other, high stakes, communicating clearly.
Trusting each other's expertise.
Yeah, invaluable when things are chaotic and every second counts.
That's right. That teamwork, that understanding they have, they can really make the difference in those early hours after a disaster.
Speaking of teamwork, there's this story that really got to me. Steve Santos,
Oh, yeah.
USAF Special Tactics Operator,
Wow.
and his father, Errol.
Okay.
They're working side by side, using their skills for everything. Search and rescue, cleanup, logistics.
What is it about their story that resonated with you?
Well, first off, Steve's a special tactics operator.
Right.
This is someone trained to operate behind enemy lines, call in airstrikes, all of that.
Intense.
Now he's using those skills to organize relief, supplies, all that.
It's an incredible transition.
It is. Most people don't even know what special tactics operator means.
True.
They're like the elite problem solvers in the Air Force,
Right.
adapting to crazy situations, making decisions under pressure.
Makes sense. Those skills would be so valuable now.
Exactly. And get this, he's using all his vacation time for this.
All of it.
All of it.
That's commitment.
That's dedication. And then there's the father-son thing. Errol, Steve's dad, no stranger to service himself, former NYPD, National Guard, 9/11 first responder.
Wow. A real family legacy.
It's like this instinct to help, run toward danger, is just in their blood.
Can you imagine the bond they must have working side by side like that?
It's got to be profound.
Yeah.
And Steve says, quote, "It's coded into me to be a servant. I can't just sit by when someone is in need."
Powerful.
You can just hear that conviction.
Gets to the heart of what drives so many veterans, right? That need to serve, to make a difference. You can't just turn it off.
Exactly. And that's what's so fascinating here.
What's that?
It's not just veterans helping others. It's them finding their own purpose again.
That sense of identity they might be missing.
Right. That connection between service and purpose.
Yeah. We'll have to explore that more as we go.
You will.
This drive to serve that we're talking about,
Yeah.
it reminds me of this concept, post-traumatic growth.
Haven't heard of that.
Ever heard of it?
No, but it sounds interesting. Tell me more.
So it's this idea that even after going through something truly awful, traumatic, people actually come out stronger on the other side. More resilient, clearer sense of purpose.
Like they've been tested by fire.
Yeah, exactly. It seems counterintuitive.
It does.
But people find meaning, purpose, by going through pain and loss.
That's wild. And it's not just veterans.
Right. It applies to anyone who's faced tough times.
This really seems connected to what we're seeing in North Carolina.
Absolutely. Think about it. A lot of veterans, especially those who've seen combat, they experience this feeling of being lost when they come back to civilian life.
Like a fish out of water.
Yeah, that intense camaraderie, the clear purpose, the adrenaline, it's gone, and that can be really hard.
We talked about that feeling of loss earlier, like grieving for that old identity.
Exactly, and that's where disaster relief work can be so powerful.
Oh, so?
It gives veterans a way to tap back into those skills, that sense of purpose.
Like a new mission field.
Yeah, a new way to serve and protect.
Channeling that warrior spirit towards healing, not fighting.
Exactly. And in doing that, they're not just helping the communities.
Right.
They're helping themselves heal and grow too.
It's like giving and receiving at the same time.
A cycle of resilience and renewal.
Makes me think of Steve Santos's quote, "If you look at who's out here, it's veterans. It's restoring my faith in humanity."
Yeah, what about it?
Like he's seeing something good, unexpected coming out of this tragedy.
You're right. It's not just individual heroism. It's the collective effort.
Working together.
Yeah, supporting each other in the community. It does restore your faith, huh?
It really does, and it makes me wonder.
What's that?
About Joe Cantasano, the vet taking the cadaver dogs.
Oh, yeah.
The article said when he was 14, he lost everything in Hurricane Charlie.
Oh, wow, that's right. Heartbreaking.
And now he's putting himself back in a hurricane's path.
But this time he's not a victim.
He's a helper.
Using his skills, his experience to help others going through the same thing.
It's like he's turning that pain into strength and compassion.
Taking a negative and making it a positive.
It's powerful. I wonder how that early experience shaped him.
In what way?
His worldview, understanding loss, dedication to helping.
Maybe going through that gave him a unique perspective.
Yeah, a deeper empathy.
He's found a way to turn that loss into positive change.
It really speaks to that post-traumatic growth thing, right?
It does. We can use our toughest experiences to grow.
And it's not just him. The article mentions Keith Holland.
Oh, right. The other vet with the cadaver dog.
He talks about how rewarding it is to bring families closure.
I bet that work must take a toll, but it's so meaningful.
It is. It's that human desire to make a difference, to ease suffering.
Exactly. Even in the middle of tragedy, they're creating something positive.
It's not just cleaning up, rebuilding houses. It's rebuilding lives.
Restoring hope.
Yeah, reminding everyone of that shared humanity that we need right now.
You're right. It's so much bigger than just veterans and disaster relief. It's about the human spirit, overcoming, finding purpose and service, building stronger communities.
It makes me wonder, what if we use this model for other problems we're facing?
Like what?
Poverty, homelessness, climate change. Could we use the skills of different people?
Teachers, nurses, artists, yeah.
Yeah. Tap into their experiences to solve these problems.
That's a fascinating question.
It is.
And I think the answer is yes. We have so much potential.
Untapped, just waiting.
People with talents, passions that could change things for the better.
What if we had more ways for people to connect with their communities, to use what they're good at?
I agree. It's like we need a new idea of service, not just charity.
Right, but seeing the value in every person.
Empowering them to actually shape their world.
Not just waiting for help.
Yeah, and knowing we all have something to give.
Something that can make things better for everyone.
Exactly.
This story, Veterans and Disaster Relief, it's almost like a model for that new idea, isn't it?
It is. It's seeing people's skills, their experiences, and using those for a shared goal.
Tapping into that need to serve.
We all have it, right? It's like we're meant to help each other.
And when we do, when we make a real difference.
That's when amazing things happen.
And the veterans are showing us we don't have to wait for a disaster.
We can start right now, wherever we are.
Find ways to use what we're passionate about to make things better.
Even small things.
Like what?
Volunteering, mentoring, just being there for someone who's struggling.
It all adds up, right?
It does. It's changing how we think, not what can I get, but what can I give.
When we do that.
We find our potential, both as individuals and together.
So I'm walking away from this feeling really inspired.
Me too.
The world has problems, But there's so much good out there, too.
There is.
And each of us can be part of that.
Absolutely. And it's not just about helping others. It's about helping ourselves, too.
How so?
When we give back, we find meaning, purpose. We feel more connected.
And maybe, just maybe, by embracing that, we can start to heal some of the divides we're seeing.
What if, instead of focusing on what separates us,
we focused on what we share.
our humanity?
Compassion, that desire to make a difference.
So here's something to think about. What's one small thing you can do today to make your community, or even just one person, feel a little bit better?
Keep that question in mind. And until next time, stay curious, stay engaged.
And keep diving deep.